Hey everybody, happy Veterans Day. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in rockin Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to go to black-cat-comics.com and pick up something fun to read. Because that's what comics are, they're fun to read. And this week is packed with stuff that's fun to read. I'm going to start with the DC guys because everybody wants to know what the Dark Knight Death Metal book of the week is. And this one is Extreme! With the main man Lobo right there on the cover. Everybody loves this Dark Knight metal stuff. It's totally wacky, it's way over the top, but it's tons of fun. And so these little specials are one-shots, and they're great ways, if you're not following the main series, to see all the craziness that's going on in the main book. If you are following the main book, you want to grab these one-shots because, well, the only thing better than chocolate is more chocolate. Punchline #1, spinning out of the events of Joker War. Everybody's been reading Batman, everybody's been following the Joker War stuff, everybody's been falling in love with the new Punchline character, so here's your chance to get in on her first solo adventure. Big old double-sized book there, that's tons of fun. And speaking of Joker War, Detective Comics, the one that started it all. I love Detective. Great covers, great art, new villains going on in the Bat book, so it's a fun time to jump in on this one. If you're only following the main Bat book, you should really be picking up Detective because it's just as awesome as the other one. Speaking of awesome, Superman #27. Brian Michael Bendis is wrapping up his all-time great run on the Man of Steel. You know I've been loving everything he's been doing with the super books. Action, Superman, great stuff. You can jump in on this one, see how he starts to wrap it all up, or of course pick up the volume 1s to those trade paperbacks. If you aren't a Superman fan, or if you're one of these people that always heckles me for being a Superman fan, you should check out the Brian Michael Bendis stuff, and if he doesn't change your mind, you'll at least understand why people like me like it so much. Wonder Woman #766, another one of the best books in comics, another book that I talk up all the time. Go back to 761 to get in on the new team, or go back as far as you want and catch up to the recent issues. It's been one of their best books for a long, long time. Another one of their great books, another one of my favorites, is this guy. This is Green Lantern Season 2 by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. You love Grant Morrison, I love Liam Sharp. It's an excellent, excellent book. Great stories, great art, like I always say. It's an excellent mix of good old classic Hal Jordan sci-fi space cop adventure, but filtered through the mind of Grant Morrison. So it's deep and it's weird and it's a whole lot of fun. Pick up the first trade for Season 1, jump in on Season 2. Great, great Green Lantern stuff. The Flash #765. A book I always say doesn't need much help from me. This is your big DC TV star, movie star. Everybody already has Flash on their list because it's a great book. But Hawkman might be flying under your radar a little bit. This has been a really great title. I think it's one of the ones that DC is wrapping up, which is kind of too bad. I was very happy to see Hawkman be back in his own book. If you've been letting this one get by, you pick up the trade paperbacks because it's been really, really good. An American Vampire, 1976. Is your Black Label book of the week. To show you that DC does a whole lot more than their superhero stuff. There's all kinds of these Black Label books out there. So if you like stuff that's a little heavier, a little darker, you can check out some American Vampire. That's tons of fun. Great week for the Marvel guys. Lots to talk about with the Marvel guys. Let's talk some X of Swords. Marauders is part 14. Yes, you got Marauders last week, and you get it this week too, because it's one of the better books. That's part 14 of X of Swords. Let's see, Excalibur 14 is part 15 of X of Swords, and Wolverine #7 is part 16. Been talking up a lot of these X of Swords books, been talking up the X books in general. It's a great time to come back to the X books if you're a previous X fan. It's a great time to jump in on this stuff. If you don't know much about it, you can pick up the trade for Powers of X and House of X and Powers of 10. Grab X-Men Volume 1, or just jump in on this X of Swords stuff. It's a little tour through all the X books. You're not, of course, going to keep following every single one of them, but you're going to find the book that's right for you. Marauders might be that one, Wolverine might be that one, X-Force might be that one, and if you've missed previous issues, there's lots of reprints of all the different parts, so you can get caught up on all that X of Swords stuff. Amazing Spider-Man #52 is the third issue of the Last Remains thing, and Amazing Spider-Man #52.LR is your in-between issue book. You get 2 issues of Amazing Spider-Man this week because the book's so awesome. It takes 2 books in 1 week to get the whole story out. Everybody's been jumping back into Spider-Man, much like the X-Men. Something I've been talking up because it's a little bit back to basics, but a little bit new villains and a lot of new characters going on. Great time to be a Spidey fan. Iron Man number 3, the latest relaunch of good old Shellhead with these amazing Alex Ross covers. I buy anything with an Alex Ross cover, especially if it's an Avengers book. Strange Academy, another book that has totally exploded and sells out all the time and goes to reprints. That one and Champions number 2 are your millennial heroes of the Marvel Universe. Good stuff. Savage Avengers. It's one of my favorite titles, a book I talk up all the time. You know I'm a big Avengers fan. I talk up anything Avengers. But this has, of course, all the Dark Avengers in it. Seeing Conan and Punisher and Wolverine all teamed up is really awesome. Seeing them take on classic Conan villain Kulan Gath is really cool. Really great book. Again, pick up the issues, grab the trade paperbacks, whatever you got to do to catch up to this week's issue because, well, great stories and great art. And last but not least from the Marvel guys is Darth Vader. Another thing I talk up all the time. Been praising the great job Marvel's been doing with their Star Wars line, the main Star Wars title, Darth Vader. I think the Vader series have been some of the best stuff that they've done. This takes place just after Empire Strikes Back. Good stuff. Love me some Darth Vader. And real quick on the subject, and you can read a little more about this in our newsletter, I want to talk up some of Marvel's reprint program. This is X-Men number 4 Facsimile Edition. This reprints the very first appearance of Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, two of my all-time favorite characters. As you get ready for WandaVision, it would be really fun to read the first appearance of the Scarlet Witch. What do I mean by Facsimile Edition? All the original ads, the letters, pages, all that good stuff. It is an exact reprint of the original book, and that's a whole lot of fun picking up a super classic title for modern cover price of just $3.99. And then we got The True Believers. You get some awesome books for just $1. This one reprints Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of the Black Panther. You aren't going to find a better single issue comic than Fantastic Four 52. Everybody should be reading the first appearance of Black Panther because it's one of the greatest comics of all time. This one reprints Thor number 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Another book you probably haven't read, but Beta Ray Bill is one of the coolest guys in comics. And there's going to be a lot of him in the Marvel cinematic universe over the next few years, so get to know some Beta Ray Bill. And last but definitely not least, this one reprints, I think it's Avengers number 87? 83, I was close. Reprints Avengers number 83, the first appearance of the Lady Liberators. And maybe the first appearance, if not at least an early appearance of the Valkyrie. Another one of my favorite comics of all time. And these True Believers are tons of fun. They're only $1, and there's lots and lots of different ones, so spend just $1 and read one of the great comics of all time. Pretty small week for the independent guys, but lots of great stuff, starting with maybe my favorite independent comic of all time. This is your latest issue of Hellboy and the BPRD. You know I love Hellboy. Never miss an opportunity to talk up some BPRD or some Dark Horse comics. My man Drew knows what I'm talking about. We love some Hellboy. Oblivion Song is your Image book of the week. Always encouraging you guys to have an Image book on your list because they do all kinds of titles that is very different from what the other guys do. And Oblivion Song is a good example of that with Robert Kirkman, some of the top talent in comics over at Image. Dynamite is my Dynamite book of the week because I just love the great job they've been doing with their cool crossovers. And this one teams up all the great characters of the Dynamite universe, Vampirella, Red Sonja, Dacia Thoris, but obviously in a cool zombie format. The only thing cooler than vampires is zombie vampires, right? Good stuff there. Dynamite has all kinds of great stuff. Star Trek Year 5 is your IDW book of the week. Much like Star Wars books at Marvel, been talking up the great job IDW does with all their Star Trek stuff, and Year 5 probably tops the list. It's a 5-year mission, but the show only went 4 years, so if you want to find out what happened in that 5th year, you got to pick up the comic. Power Rangers number 1 is the sister title to Mighty Morphin number 1, which was either last week or a couple of weeks ago for all you fans of the MMPR. Now you've got 2 monthly books to check out because they're that awesome. Rai number 9 is my Valiant book of the week. Like Image, I always encourage you guys to have a Valiant book on your list, and Rye is a great place to start. You know I love me that classic sci-fi stuff, and it just doesn't get any more awesome or sci-fi than Rye. And Miskatonic, if I'm saying that correctly, is your Aftershock book of the week. Aftershock is one of the newer publishers we've been talking up. Seems like we're into just about everything that rolls out from Aftershock. So here's a cool first issue so you can check out a new title, check out a new publisher, and see the kind of things that they do. Haven't had a lot of all ages books lately, but got a few this week to talk about. Marvel Action Chillers is probably more suitable for a Halloween book, but much like the Darth Vader's Castle books, I've been talking up the cool mashup between IDW and Marvel Comics. I love IDW and their all-ages thing. I love all-ages horror comics. That's super fun. And all-ages superhero comic is just too much fun to be believed. So pick up Marvel Chillers. This is an ongoing, so be on the lookout for ensuing issues. Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody loving Sonic the Hedgehog. And Teen Titans Go! Roll With It is one of your latest DC Kids sort of mini graphic novels. Everybody loves Teen Titans Go! I've been really enjoying these graphic novels for the younger readers. This one is, of course, about the Titans have a little role-playing game. Super fun for you or for the younger reader in your life. And again, there's lots of these DC Kids graphic novels to choose from. Good stuff. Lots and lots of great books this week, so check those shipping lists. Go to black-cat-comics.com, click on Shop, click on New this week, check out all the books I've been talking about, click on New last week if there was anything from last week that you might have missed. Pick up your stuff, read it, and then tune back in Saturday, 2 o'clock for Comic Shop Talk Live as we discuss all the fun books of the week. So that's all we got for you for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Saturday.